Want to know how to increase your guitar's sustain? I'll teach you some really cool tricks that will help you get more sustain, even infinite sustain, without having to use any special equipment or modify your guitar or buy any pedals or use active pickups, none of that stuff. All you need is the proper articulation, the proper right hand pick angle, and then to keep the string sustaining with your fretting hand. And I'm going to show you how. Now before we might get started, you might want to check out one of my videos on vibrato that will help you to learn the type of vibrato I'm using here to keep the strings alive. So what you're about to see next is an excerpt from a live masterclass I gave during one of my live events. And I'm going to show you what I do to make a note last forever, as long as I want it to last, with no end. So the only thing that would give out are my legs, and I would have to sit down eventually if I stood here enough hours. But on this guitar, it's not a special guitar. These pickups are not special. Honestly, I don't even know what they are. I'll make the note last infinitely. And I want you to be able to make your notes last forever. You don't need special equipment. You don't need, like I said, you don't need active pickups. There's no sustainer built in here, nothing like that. No tricks, okay? It's just this hand, and that's it. And it will last infinitely. All right, B minor blues track here. There is some delay on this amplifier. It's not making the note sustain longer. All day long, no end. If I stop the note and don't pick it, so I'm not helping, I'm not re-articulating the note with the pick, totally dead note, okay? And I'll revive the note, okay? Imagine it's on life support, it's dead, red line, flat line in the hospital, in an emergency room, flat lined. I didn't pick anything. I didn't hammer on, I didn't do anything to set the note in motion other than vibrato. I didn't do this, no picking, nothing. It'll go for as long as I want it to go. Doesn't matter if it's a bent note or a not bent note. Okay, stop the track there for a second. Now what I showed you is no big secret. Anyone in here can do it. Okay, what it requires is to use vibrato, and the vibrato needs to be aggressive, right? It needs to be wide. You can't do it like this or, this. It's got to be aggressive vibrato. Okay, but the way to practice this is to not pick anything, no hammer-ons, no pull-offs. From a totally dead note, just revive it from the dead. Okay? That makes sense? Now, play the track again. Again, not difficult. It's not the technique that's important here. What is important is to think to use this idea somewhere. I'm just screwing around, just improvising here. Most people would have stopped by now, would have played something else, would have stopped the note. I did not re-articulate the note at all. Didn't pick it again. Okay? Right, and you can choose however long you want to continue sustaining that note, but the point is, when I'm improvising, just now, those phrases were I just made that stuff up, I'm thinking from the standpoint of long maximum sustain. And that thought is driving the phrases that I'm improvising. I'm not thinking about the notes that I'm playing in between the long notes, I'm only thinking about the long notes. That's the important piece here. Not the technique of sustaining the notes. It's the idea, the cell of long, long, long sustain of notes. And I'll choose a note in my mind. I'll play that note. I'll improvise something else to the next long, long sustained notes. The notes in between are not that important. I could have played anything. It doesn't really matter. The idea, the concept for improvising and creating was long maximum sustain. Okay? Simple concept, not hard to do. All of you in the room probably can do this already. The question is, do you ever do this? Does it sound good when I hold the note out for a long time? Sound pretty cool, right? It's not hard. I'm not, ripping through scales or sweep pick, not doing any of that stuff. Pretty simple. But it sounds good. Here are some additional ideas that will help you increase your guitar sustain that wasn't explicitly mentioned in the video. The first one should be really obvious, but we're going to go over it anyway, and that is fretting hand finger placement. If you put your finger on the fret and you're not solidly pressing down because your finger is either hanging over the fret wire or is too far away from the fret wire, then you're going to have a little bit of buzzing in the note, and the note won't ring clear. And if it doesn't ring clear, then the note won't last as long. Any kind of buzzing at all starts to kill the note. So we don't want any fret buzz because our finger is out of position. We want to be right behind the fret wire, pushing down enough that we have a nice clear note. The second little trick here is the articulation and the pick attack of your picking hand. First of all, you want to hit the string hard to set it into motion and get it to vibrate pretty violently. However, you have to be careful for two things. When you hit the string hard, you don't want the string to slap against the fingerboard or the frets, because any slapping, any contact that the string has with the guitar disallows it from ringing out clearly and fully and for as long as its natural life would be. So we want to hit the strings hard, but we don't want any slapping. And one of the ways to prevent or reduce the chance of the string slapping against the frets is to pick the guitar string this way, directly across. So the motion is like this. You're not coming up like this, because when the pick comes up like this or down like this, what happens is the string starts vibrating on an angle. The pick releases the string and it comes back on an angle and starts slapping against, at least once or twice, the frets of the fingerboard. That will reduce the sustain and natural life of the note. So we just want to pick across, not up or down. There I could feel the string literally slapping against the frets. and it starts to diminish the natural life of the vibration of the string. We don't want that to happen. And then the third thing is that we want to add some violence on the string, and that's what you saw in the excerpt video from the masterclass, was when I was using vibrato. That vibrato keeps the string vibrating. It allows the sustain to continue and even creates its own, as you saw when I was reviving a totally dead note, which didn't have any life left to it, and we gave it life simply by applying good, thick, aggressive vibrato. Now, vibrato is not the only technique you can use to either make sustain last longer or to set the string in motion. You can also do it with slides if the slides are aggressive enough. So if you slide like this, it's not really doing a lot to set the string in motion, okay? So there, I didn't even hit the string. It's just a slide only. But it's enough from a totally dead note to get the string moving. So if the string is already vibrating, in other words, it's not coming from a dead note, and you slide, it's going to help that note continue to vibrate even more to revive its sustain and keep it going. And the final thing is that, you know, the guitar that I played in the other video and this guitar, these just have passive pickups. They're not active. There's no sustainer. There's no special pedal. There's nothing, okay? But my gain is on 10. So when you turn the gain up, that does help to compress the sound. It doesn't do anything to make the string actually ring out or sustain, but it gives you the sound of a compressed note. So when the note starts dying, you don't hear it dying as quickly because the gain is on 10. So again, the gain doesn't make the note sustain longer unless you're playing with the amp really loud. Then it can help through feedback, but that's not what we're talking about here. So to recap, finger placement, our strong pick attack, but pick across, not on angles when you really want the note to sustain its maximum natural life. Violence on the strings, vibrato, slides, anything that's going to set that string in motion without having to re-articulate it with either the right hand or the left hand through hammer-ons and pull-offs, and then gain on 10. If you like this channel, subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on that notification bell so that YouTube tells you when I publish the next video, and then hit that like button. I made this video by request. One of you asked in the comment section of one of my previous videos to make a video on increasing sustain on the guitar. So I did, here it is. Let me know in the comment section of this video what other topics you would like me to make new videos on. If you sometimes have problems with any part of your guitar technique, your picking, your legato, whatever, and you want a fast and easy way to fix it, I'll show you how in my new ultimate cheat sheet to troubleshoot any guitar technique problem. It's free. Click on the link below to download your cheat sheet right now.